And right now, at least 100 people who participated in a protest on UT's campus are waiting to get out of the Travis County Jail.
Law enforcement arrested them after they say they failed to disperse. Yesterday's arrests double the number that we saw last week.
KVUE's Eric Pointer has been outside the jail all morning long. And Eric, it's been more than 12 hours since some people were arrested. Any sign of release?
So far, Rob and Yvonne, we haven't seen anyone be released, but there's a renewed sense of energy from the crowd here. Now, there is a pretty big amount of people here. They're starting to wake up. People are bringing in donations, they're getting coffee, things like that, but they're all waiting for those to be released. Like we said, we haven't seen any, but earlier this morning, we saw them communicating with people who were in the jail. There were people who were up in the buildings with flashing lights and banging on their windows to communicate with them here downstairs. And we also heard an announcement from someone who is with a group on campus, but he is not with the group that planned yesterday's protest, but he came here to the jail in support, for jail support. He said that he had been communicating with the attorneys and the investigators, and he says that there are several people who are inside who are injured. He says that some of the arrests were severe. He also said that an ambulance took someone with a concussion, and then they went 5 hours without treatment. That person was taken to the hospital, he said, but based on his communication with the investigators and the attorneys. He also said that some people who were inside were being evaluated by medics. They are having to beg for that treatment, and he also mentioned that people are dehydrated. Now, we talked to him about why it was important for him, even though his group wasn't in charge of the demonstration yesterday, why it was important for him to be here overnight, and this is what he had to say.
It's important to show the university and to show law enforcement who are cracking down brutally on, peaceful protesters, people who have a right to protest on campus, people who are standing up for a literal genocide that's happening.
He mentioned it was important to remember the actual cause. Like, yes, this is happening. Yes, this is what we're covering. But he said he wanted to bring to the forefront the reason why they were demonstrating, and that was in support of freeing Palestine, he said. Now, we also know that last week, on last Thursday, around this time, we had already seen multiple releases, and people were coming out in a steady stream when we were here on Thursday. But so far, again, this morning, we haven't seen anyone released. Rob, Yvonne?
Thank you for the update.